Am I the asshole for telling my sister and her boyfriend to cut out the weird BDSM stuff when they're invited over to my place in front of family and kids? That's our starting point. So this is the conundrum. I'm 28 female with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my sister, 23 female, has always been, shall we say, a little less responsible and more adventurous in life.
Same.
Yeah, same. I've always tried to be supportive of her choices and tried to be someone she can confide in because we do not have great relationship with our parents. The last 6 months, however, has been stressing our relationship. She is involved with an older guy, 33, and I'm not opposed to older men. I'm married to an older gentleman myself. But he's someone who isn't very mature and is leading my sister down some weird paths. I know they indulge in a lot of kinky things, which I don't worry about too much. However, they're starting to be bolder with it in family settings, and I think I want to call them out on it and stop them from doing it. I noticed she had a temporary tattoo on her shoulder that had something to do with cuffs. I guarantee that's not a temporary tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She's wearing a little locker bracelet. That's cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
And some sort of collar. Okay, that took a turn. That I know is them doing something about their BDSM stuff in public. I also noticed she was not talking directly to him with eye contact and staying back whenever we talked. I can imagine they enjoy this, but I want to keep this to the bedroom without others involved. I've got kids here, for gosh sake. Am I being too controlling? It's my party, and I just want them to be normal and not have their bedroom spill over. So, in summary, this person's younger sister has got into a kinky relationship with an older guy, and it's starting to creep into their daily lives for people to notice. Is that sister, the poster, OP, is she the asshole for mentioning it?
No.
Okay. What's your thinking? Show you're working.
Not, like, obviously I don't think she should get in between her sister being in this relationship at all. Like, she doesn't have to like the guy or like the relationship, but that's their business. They're both adults. But doing that stuff, kind of staying back and not directly talking to people, or kind of bringing this BDSM kinky elements to a setting where there's other people involved and these people are not consenting to it, is kind of gross. I don't like it. Now, I think if she has a tattoo or something, or she's wearing something that's not super, like, in your face kinky, like, I don't think that's as big of a deal. But the whole acting like this when it's a part of some sexual thing for them is, especially in front of kids, like, what are you doing? No, I don't know if you agree with me, though.
I see both sides of this one.
Okay.
My feeling is that no one is the asshole.
Okay.
There is no asshole in this. It is assless. I think people should be free. Like, in a perfect world, in my utopia, in my kinky utopia, in my mind.
God, let's not go there.
People are just not judgmental at all of each other's kinks and fetishes, and we can wear it publicly on our sleeves without it being weird, and without society structured in such a way to alienate people's sexualities. It should just be part of our daily lives anyway. However, in the real world, where people actually live and interact, bringing your kinks out publicly in front of somebody else's kids is weird.
Yeah.
I feel a little regressive. I say that, I kind of hesitate to say that. It feels a little bit regressive.
No, I think it's reasonable. I'm 24 and, you know, certainly I'm not old or anything, but I do remember I've witnessed some interactions when I was younger where they're deeply imprinted into my brain, where now as an adult I wonder, like, these people were either super into the trad stuff or they're fucking kinky. Either or. As a kid, I didn't want to see that.
Yeah.
I just really, sometimes I'm like, I'm walking to work, like, I don't want to see your prolapsed asshole on the street. Like, I'm really sorry.
Where do you live?
In Berlin.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but,
good
yeah,
point.
but the point being, there are some things that just should be kept private. And I feel like if it's some sort of a weird thing like this where the other person's clearly being submissive and secretly, like, wetting their pants as, like, their partners, they're like, oh, yeah, you have to like, look up to me, be a silent woman, oh, as her dick's getting hard around the fucking family. No, absolutely not. Just
leave that shit at the door.
Yep.
Literally at the bedroom door.
Don't do it.
There's an argument. This sister here, the poster, is saying, don't let it spill out of the bedroom. That I'm not fully on board with.
Why not?
Because I think that your sex life is so inherently part of your overall character, your overall build-up, that it's not quite reasonable to expect somebody to segment it so to be able to delineate so clearly between what is sex and what is acceptable behaviour. Mm-hmm. Sex informs so much of what we do and who we are. That to say don't take it outside the bedroom is just not. It's not honest. It's not.
No, yeah, but if you are trying to bring it outside of the bedroom, I feel like the best way to go about it would be simply just to, like, for instance, that weird collar thing she's wearing. Like, I think that's fine because, like, it just looks like a piece of jewelry, right? So that is okay. I'm not opposing that in any way. But having any sort of like these kinky interactions when outsiders are there, being kind of forced to be a part of it is I don't feel right about that, but it's because it personally makes me feel uncomfortable, and a part of me, like, I know this is not necessarily happening in this situation, but a part of me feels like sometimes there might be some sort of a power dynamic or an abusive element. Not saying that's always the case, because definitely, like, that's not the case, but I don't know. I can't, and we are honestly given very limited information in terms of the dynamic between the two, so it's like very hard to decide.
I think there's another side to this.
I think so too.
For example, I could quite easily imagine this "Am I the asshole?" written from the other sister's perspective. Mm-hmm. So it would read something like this: I'm 23, female, just got into a DS relationship with an older man. I'm really excited about exploring this part of my personality. I'm very proud to wear a locket, and we wear a kind of daytime collar to show that I'm submissive to him. My sister has started behaving aggressively or differently towards me and has told me to keep my sex to the bedroom. Am I the asshole for enjoying my sexuality?
Yeah, this is a difficult one, because now I feel like if the other side does sound like this, I kind of think the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, true.
I understand the point of exploring this part of yourself, but at the same time, I guess personally, and I'm coming at this from my own perspective, I just, when I see people publicly displaying DS rate type of kinky relationships, like, kind of makes me feel uneasy, especially when it's been public. Like, I don't necessarily want to know. I don't want to see it.
So maybe we should try to find where the line is. Mm-hmm. So I've seen this. I've seen a submissive being spanked in public in like a completely otherwise vanilla scenario. Yeah. That felt like it was across the line.
Yeah, no, that's in LA, I saw a woman walking her submissive in a collar. Just the guy was like on his knees, just going at it.
Just down the street.
Yep. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't,
It doesn't weird me out that much.
No,
maybe I've lived a different life.
Yeah, but you're different, because like you've had sex and I haven't. No,
I want that in writing.
No, I have had sex. I have done sex.
We have done a sex.
Don't say that.
You said it.
But you said it in a way where it's like, I don't know.
Okay, you have done a sex.
I have done sex, but so has Stu. Stu has done a lot more sex than I have.
I've done it at least.
You can't. If you're going to be counting,
Three. I've done it at least 3. I've done 3 sexes. Okay, so spanking in public is clearly across the line.
Yeah.
What about BDSM jewelry? So a collar that is not necessarily, not like a ribbed posture collar.
Okay, so it's fine if it looks like normal jewelry. Like, I think they look kind of nice. I don't really see a problem. That can be regular jewelry or like a BDSM related. I don't care if it, whatever, or tattoos even. I don't really care.
Yeah.
As long as they're not like graphically sexual. However, I'm gonna tell a story that once I was at I'm gonna just be honest. I went to a munch once.
You might have to explain what a munch is.
Okay, yeah. So a munch is a BDSM or this kink community meetup where we are not doing anything sexual. We're just eating dinner, maybe having a couple of drinks, just talking. And I've gone to a couple of these just to see what it's about. As someone who has attended a couple of munches in the past, even though I've met quite a few people that have been very nice to me, I'm gonna be honest and say that there are a few things I've seen that I feel really uncomfortable with. Like, if it's a private BDSM event, go right ahead, wear whatever you want, or don't wear anything at all. But wearing a collar, a big ass leather collar that says slut on it in front of families and stuff, I don't know how you feel about that.
I have complex opinions about it. I wish it was clear cut and I could agree that you shouldn't do that, but a tiny little bit, the tiny contrarian in me wants to say, maybe it's society that's changed. maybe it's society that's crazy.
Know.
I don't know. Look, I'm again, like, my opinions on this are subject to change every year. They go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Right now, during this conversation, I am all for the normalization of kinky lifestyles. So I think I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't do it myself. Wearing a slut collar in public, it's not something that appeals to me or I would like to see. Mm-hmm. But I can understand that. I think the overall benefit of doing that is there is a net positive.
Yeah, I'm gonna give another example of this just because I have a couple of tattoos that are of naked women. Yeah. In a bondage setting. And when I'm out in public, I will wear clothing that covers that up just because I feel personally like people are not necessarily consenting to seeing them. Not everyone wants to see bare boobs with like red shibari rope around them. And that's why I'll wear stuff that covers them up. But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, what it comes down to is that, of course, you are absolutely free to express yourself sexually in any way, shape and form that you want to, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to, you know.